Hi guys, and welcome to C++ tutorial of how to connect MS Access database. And let me show you guys how this works. In here we have the information of Casey Jonathan. So if we click on here, we can view someone else's details, and that is Alan Parker. Okay, let's assume we want to search. You see, as soon as my mouse is there, what happens is the search information disappears. So let's bring it back. So I'm going to search for invalid data. Record not found. And there's nothing here. So let's assume we have the following details. Click on search, and that is supposed to be Grace Stonehead. One other thing that we can do is we can add new data. Okay, and in here let's add new individual there, and let's assume the name is Tony Montana, and here address, that is 17 Little Venice, postcode, telephone number there. All we then need to do is just to click on this add button. Record saved successfully. Click on OK. There we go. And the full tutorial will be made available shortly. Okay guys, let's exit out and start work with a new tutorial. Click on exit. Yes. And now I'm going to click on create new project. Let's select CLRMT project.net framework. Click on next. Now give that project a name. I'm going to call that CPP access connection. Right there, my CPP MS Access connector is ready. So I'm going to click on the Solution Explorer here, and right in here you see where we have the properties. Click on the properties. So what we're trying to do here now is to create the form itself. And right in this dialog, you must make sure if you're using 64-bit is 64-bit. If it's 32-bit, change it to 32-bit. Since I'm using 64-bit, I'm going to settle for that. I'll come right here where we have configuration properties. You see where we have the linker. Drop it down, select system. Go to the right where we have subsystem, and drop that down, select Windows, subsystem Windows. Come back down to the configuration properties again, go straight to the linker. Right underneath you should be able to see advanced. Click on the advanced, and here we have entry point. Change the entry point and just give it call it main. Type in main in there, then come right down here, click on apply, and then click on OK. There we go. Now the next step is for you to right click on your project name, and let's select add. Click on new item, and inside this very dialog that pops up, you now want to select CLR. Select the CLR, select Windows Form, and the Windows Form, you should be able to see a default name there. If you want, you can change the name, but I intend to keep the default name. I'm going to click on add. Now so you can see I now have a form here called myform.cpp. however, I ended up with an error because the form itself is not generated yet. And for this form to be created, double click on myform.cpp. there. So right here there was supposed to be some lines of code which we don't have. There's a forum where you can get those lines of code. I'm going to take you guys right there. This is the forum where I get the code, and I'll make the link to this very forum available on my description area. So if you come down, though this instruction is for 2017, but it still works with 2022. This is where I am now. I've just double click on myform.cpp right there. So I'm going to copy these lines of codes. These lines of code that I'm copying, we actually create my form for me. So I'm going to close that, paste that lines of code. There will be an error in the first place telling me to change the name of my program. So I'm going to change that to CPPMS access. That is it, and this error should be gone. You see that? And that is it. That's all you need to do. I will now run the program. Click on run, and right there, guys, that is my form. But the unfortunate thing is, if I close this form, you won't be able to see it in the Solution Explorer. So the only way out for us to see it is you close the whole system and reopen it again. Okay, I'm going to close that. There we go. And now I'm going to right click and reopen it again. That is it right there. Click on open. There we go. So if we now go straight to the Solution Explorer, click on the Solution Explorer here. There we go. And that is it. Look at it. myform.h is now there. Double click on it. There, that's the form. Now select the properties of that very form, and I'm going to change the size to something much manageable. So 1150 by 788. That is it. Fine. Now I'm going to add some components to it. Click on the toolbox. I'm going to need panel. Then I need a label. Right. Grab the panel, this label, and take out the label, and this very panel I'm going to drag it that much. Yeah. And this panel, before I do any other thing, let's change the background color first. The main background color of the form, I'm going to change it to cadet blue. There we go. And this I'm going to change back to control. There we go. Now for the label, auto size is false. Then the back color remains the same, and I'm going to come right down. Oh, let's select the label. I wasn't selecting the label. For the label, auto size, instead of true, that should become false. Background color, that's meant to be control. There we go. And the border style, I'm going to, okay, let's change it to fixed single. There, and right underneath here, let's go straight to where the text are. I'm going to change that to CPP MS access database connection. There. One more thing, let's change the font size of it. Oh, before that, I'm going to align it center. The font, I'm going to make that about maybe 40 or 30 something. Let's go for 40. We can always change it back. Bold. There. Now drag that. Bring this down a little bit. There we go. That is taken care of. Now I'm going to copy this. Copy, paste it here, and reduce it that much. Copy again. This is going to be for my buttons. Okay, I'm going to drag this panel. Let's select both and just bring it right down. I think that we do. Let's see what's the. Okay, that's all right. Now let's add buttons here. Click on that grab hold of a button. We have a button here. I'm going to copy this button, paste it right up there. That will be my search button. And I'm going to change the fonts. Let's just change the font first, then we can copy it. Change that to maybe about 36. 36, bold. There. Now I'm going to copy this very one, and let's change this. Just let's say about 7 here, and we change the data in here to, first of all, let me just copy it. I need about 6 of those. Now I have 6. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, this is going to be exit, the last one. Pin this down. btn exit. Come right down, followed by print. My previous tutorial, you guys know how to print, but this is going to be another method that you can use to another print function actually there, and this is going to be known as reset. btn reset. And just for your information, this tutorial is all about learning how to connect Access database to C++. And this is delete. So we change that to the variable name to btn delete. And here we call this update, btn update. Update. And finally this one will become add data. And the name of this will be btn add data. That's it, all done. Now the one right at the top, I'm going to be using that for search. So that's btn search. Change the name to search. Now let's add a text box. Come right here and grab hold of a text box. We're gonna need a couple of those. Bring this one here. Change the details of this to, yeah, let's paste search in there, and let's make that about 30 something as well. There. Okay, for now that's fine. Now we also need to add 6 of those, so we change this to, let's click on this and just stretch it, multi-line, and we're going to change it to about, where's the size? Come to the size. I think that's too much, maybe 48. And this will be maybe 20 something, 28. Okay, bold, 28 bold. I need about 6 of those. Change this, just increase this. So now copy. That's 2 and 6 there. Now we need labels. Come right here, let's grab hold of a label and change this to 28 as well. Bold. There. And the very first label, we change that to maybe student ID, something like that, or it can be employee ID, whatever. But based on the database that we're going to be using, that's what I'm going to call it, student ID. Now let's copy this. It will be for surname, maybe address, postcode, and telephone number there. So change this to first name, surname, and so on. So I'm going to speed that up. Alright, so let's add something here that will say something like DB details, something like that, and just come right down here, change that to DB details. Let's get it underlined. Come right here, select that and underline it. Yeah, I'm going to underline this as well and underline. Let's increase the font size. Okay, let's maybe 36. Okay, then let's see. Yeah, that's not too bad. Alright, so right underneath here, I'm now going to add data grid view. Data grid view. There we go. Just drag it. Dump it right there. Okay, that's good. Now I'm going to just run it so that we see how the whole interface looks like. For now, guys, this is how the whole system is looking. Alright, so let's carry out some more modification, then we can start work with the coding. Drag this up here, change this, the font of that I'm going to change it to something gray. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, very good. Now let's start work with the data connection. You can go straight into Server Explorer here. Inside the Server Explorer, or on the Server Explorer itself, you see right up here, you will see connect to database. Okay, or you go to the tools, select connect to database. But before I do any of those, let me show you the data in right here somewhere. Let's open up where the data is. The data is right here. That is the one I intend to use. Double click on that. It is empty. I call it csave, C++ save, something like that. That is it. It's empty. So I'm going to copy that very data. Right click on it, copy. So I'm going to paste it right inside my project folder here. Paste. There. Close this. And there, that's my database. So I can minimize that. We'll be coming back to that. Alright, that is done. Now let's go for the connections. Server Explorer. Click on connect to DB. There we go. And once you click on connect to DB, what you want, the driver that you want to see, data source must be Microsoft Access Database File OLEDB. If you don't have that, make sure you change it. Click on change and make sure OLEDB is selected. Select this one right up there. Click on OK. Once that is done, you now come here, you see where we have database file name. Click on browse. That's it, and select that. Now the next step is click on advanced. Now this is very important. Inside the advanced, you want to copy this provider's details. The name of the OLEDB provider is to use when connecting to the database. Okay, so copy that name. Right click, copy. You can close this and come right here, get rid of the admin, and you can even try it out. Let's make sure our connection is very good. It's successful. Now click on OK. I have officially copied that directory. Okay, if you forget or leave something out, you can always come back to your Server Explorer, right click on it, select the properties. That will open up this for you, and right here is your connection, so if you copy it there. Alright, now that the connection is copied, let's do this. I'm going to double click on the form. Now before I do any other thing, let's go right up here I'm now going to import the following library. So the library that I want is going to be, if I copy this, I will lose the data that I've copied before, but I'm going to copy and then recopy it again. Okay, so that's using namespace system column data column OLEDB. There we go, that is it, and end that. I now have the OLDB on my system. Now let's go back in here to the design, or I can just select my server explorer, right click here, select the properties, and now want to copy it again because I've already used whatever I have on the clipboard. So copy that there. Now back onto my form, you see right underneath pragma end region, I'm going to declare as follows. So let's say OLEDB connection. You see that right there. I'm able to see that right away because I've already called the library up there. So I'm going to now enter a pointer, and this pointer I'm going to give that a name that the system should point to, and I'll say equals GC, which means garbage collector, and or garbage collect. Now that is going to be new garbage collect OLEDB OLEDB connection, open a bracket with speech mark and paste the directory that I've copied. That is it right there. But if you notice, I have an error, and that is no problem. Okay, the error is at a result of this backspace, so that should be double backspace. So just make sure you enter double backspace in there, and right here enter semicolon. Now I've just linked it up straight onto the system there. If I run my program now, you can see, you'll be able to verify that the database is linked. Now before I do that, let's enter 2 more variables. So the next one variable, I'm going to call that checkers or check. Then I'm also going to call an object. This object is bitmap, okay, to be addressed to be pointing at this that I've just called bitmap there. And right underneath here is the form load. Inside the form load, I want to test to make sure my database is connected to the system. So all I'm just going to do in there is, let's use try cache. Come right down here, enter a cache statement, open up a bracket and enter exception, add pointer to EX. Underneath here, enter curly braces. Inside our curly braces, I'm going to enter message box. This message box I want to use that to generate an error message for me if there's any error at all. Dot message, there we go, and end that. Okay, so if you want, you can put a comma and give your, just add a title there, C++ database connector, or we can say C++ access database connector there. Then comma, another argument, this is going to be message box column, okay, comma, the last argument is going to be message box icon. So the icon I'm going to use that of error, if there's any error, icon column error, there we go. Alright, so up here Now I'm going to call the connect, so connect dot open, enter parenthesis. And if this connect opens, if the database opens, I just want a message box that will say something. I'm going to paste that there, and the message will be maybe something like connection successful. So let's change this to connection successful. There, and that's it. So I'm going to try that out now to make sure I am able to connect straight to the database, this very one. So let's do that. Run. There we go. Connection successful. I'm going to click on OK. So as you can see, I've been able to connect straight onto my database. So with that, guys, I want to call it the end of the first part of this tutorial, and I'll see you guys shortly. And welcome back to the second part of this tutorial. Okay, I'm going to exit out. Let's just select that form. Go straight to the properties of that very form. Scroll right down. I need to just get it centered. See where we have, let's change this properly. Start position. I'm going to select that and make it centered, so that is fine. Now double click on the form, or go straight to underneath the pragma end region. Right underneath there, I'm going to create a function. I'm just going to call that void because it's not going to return anything. I'll call it connection db. Enter parentheses. There we go. Now for my connection db, first of all, I'm going to start with try cache. Copy. Let's copy all of this, paste it right in here, and get rid of this. So right inside the connection db, I'm going to first of all ask the system to open up, and in here I will now create oldb edb command, and this command will be pointing at cmd. Okay, that's the name I just want to give to it. And now I'm going to say that one is equals connect dot create command. There we go. There. Now the next thing is I'm now going to say cmd dot connect the connection type, and that is going to be equals connection type dot text. Connection type column text. There. Now this connection, I'm now going to use an SQL statement there, dot connection text, and that is going to be equals, let's just say select all from csave there, and connect dot execute non-query, enter parenthesis. Okay, looking good so far. Now I'm going to create another object here that is going to be the data table, and add a pointer to a dt, and that is new garbage collect. That will be data table. Now that should be new. Yeah. Okay. The next thing is I'm going to call oldb adapter OLEDB data adapter. Yep. And add another pointer, and I'll just give it a name DP for data adapter, and I'm going to say equals garbage collects new data adapter. And this data adapter, we have parentheses with the command. There we go. Okay, now the data adapter, we want that, let's say, dot fill data table. Now the data table that I want it to fill would be this one here. There we go. Let's grab the name of that. Okay, data grid view. Alright, back in here, paste that in there. Data grid view 1 dot data source. Okay, data grid view 1 dot data source. Okay, let's do it properly. A data source, I need semicolon here. Alright, dot data source and the data source that will be dt equals dt. Okay, now our database is open here in this function, but we also have to close it. Let me close it right underneath here. Close. There. And once that is closed, I want the message box to pop up. A message box that will tell me the database is connected or something like that. So I'm just going to enter in here connection. Okay, I think I already have that. I can just copy it. Connection successful. Paste that in there. Connection is successful. There. Press enter, break this into 2 lines. There we go. Alright. Else, give me an error message. That is good. Okay, this is a function that I've just created, this one here. I'm going to copy it and call it within my, call it on the form load here, but which means I don't need this anymore. Okay, I can comment this out, else it will just say connection successful twice. So paste the function that I've just copied, paste it right there. Okay, delete this. We don't need it anymore for now. We don't need it. Okay, that is the function. Okay, so I'm going to now run that, and if it works correctly, my data grid view should open up with titles on them, the titles of my database. Okay, connection is successful. That is good. There we go. Look at that. Okay, that's the title of my database, and you can verify that here. Double click on that and right click. There we go. Those are the title. Okay, so that's fine, and there's nothing there. That's good. Right, I'm going to close this and minimize that. There. So we've got our database connected. Now let's take care of this on the form on this very one here. Let's take care of this first. Double click on add. Okay, with the add procedural area, what I'm going to do to make life easy is I'm going to copy this function. Look at it. Let's copy some part of it and modify it. Grab that. up to the end of try catch. For those of you who are new to C++ programming or whatever type of programming, the try catch is just an error handler. Okay, now I'm going to delete all of these. I don't need that. Get rid of that. And my SQL statement here is going to be insert. Let's change that to insert into. What other changes do I need? Open up. My command is there, type is there. Okay, now insert here. We're not finished with here yet. So right in here that I've inserted that, I'm now going to call, enter a bracket there. In here you see the database. Let's open up the database. Right click, design view. I'm going to call each of these fields. So the first one is the student ID, paste that. Okay, the second field, I think that should be the name, first name, surname, and so on. Okay, paste that in there, comma, surname, comma, the next one, yeah, address, comma, postcode, and finally I have telephone in there, comma, telephone. That's good. Now those are the fields. Look at it. Okay, those are the fields that I have in here. They are all here and arranged in order, okay, with the same spelling, everything. Right, minimize that. Now I now need to call the values. To call the values, first of all, let me just take this down here. I'm going to put press enter. There will be an error, so I'm just going to put a speech mark in there and add a plus sign to it. Then there will be another speech mark in here. Alright, so where I can now call the values. So in here I'm going to enter values, open up a bracket, single quote, double quote, plus sign, press enter. I'm now going to run that up here, single quote, double quote, no, close the bracket, double quote. Alright, you see the error is gone. Now each component I'm going to call them individually. So come in here, grab the name of the first one here, that is called txt. Look at it, txt first name, no, txt student ID. Copy that, go back in here, paste that right here, dot text, and I'm going to enter plus, double quote, single quote, comma, single quote, comma and a feet, plus sign. Okay, it's easier for me that way. So I now have 6 of those. I'm going to copy. So that is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now change it around. This is going to be first name. Look at it right there. You can copy that, change that to first name. Surname, address, postcode, and finally telephone. Done. Okay, now that that is done, you then have to make sure your command dot execute query is called as well. Then the database must be closed. Okay, once you close the database, you can also call the let's call the That's it, the database, the function that we created earlier. I'm going to call that right underneath here. There. So here the whole idea is to add record in there, so I can change this to record is successfully, or record save, record is successfully added, record is successfully added, something like that. So that will do it. Okay, now I'm going to try that out. This is for the button, fingers crossed. Save that. Yeah. Now let's run it. Run. Should be coming up now. Okay, saying the table is already open, so I'm going to have to close the table. So come in here. Let's close it first. Look at it, it's open. Close that. There. And let's click on OK. There we go. I'm going to close it and restart the whole lot again. Run. Let's see. Successful. Connection is successful. Now decision time. Let's add whatever student ID in there and the name. Paul Parker. And here Parker lives in number 19. Let's say Queen Place. And the postcode is whatever. Telephone number. There we go. Now all I need to do is to click on this, but before that let me show you guys the database again. Look at it, it is empty. So if our system works fine, we should be able to view that database and at the same time view everything on the data grid view. Click on add. There. Very good, record is successfully added. Click on OK. There, look at that. Okay, Paul Parker successfully added. Now let's check out the database. Now double click on that and that is it. Added straight onto the database. Okay, that is good. Now, okay, let's exit out. Oh, the exit is not working. So let's take care of the exit first. So come right down here, double click on exit, and right there I'm going to enter as follows. So let's say try, and I'm going to copy all of this, the cache statement, paste that right underneath here. Right in here I'm going to enter, let's say system column Windows column forms and column dialog results, and now we call that I close. There. Now let's say I close will be equals the following. I might as well grab hold of all of these. I'll come here, grab hold of this. It's the same anyway, and paste that right there. That is what I close is, but in here it's going to be confirm if you want to exit. There, confirm if you want to exit. And here I'm going to change that to yes, no, and right here that will be a question. Change that to question, and let's use a selection statement now. If I close equals dialog results yes, grab hold of all of this, paste that in here, that will be yes. Then We just want the system to close. There. Or you can just enter application.exit. So that is your lines of code to close. I'm going to copy that. Copy. And let's go back in there and use it for reset. Double click on reset. Come right down here, paste that in there. We now need the name. So that's going to be iReset. So grab hold of all of these and just change it to iReset. iReset here and iReset here as well. Now instead of close, get rid of that. This is going to be question. No. Confirm if you want to reset. Okay, that's a question. There we go. Confirm if you want to reset. Now, what are we resetting? We're resetting all of this. I'm going to grab hold of all of this. Just copy that. And I'm going to need the function as well. Just copy all of that. And where's the reset again? Reset. Now dump it here. Now get rid of all of this. I don't need this here. And here I'm just going to change that to clear. There. Repeat the same thing for the others. And there's one more to add that to. That would be the search. Now come right down here, txt search. I don't have txt search. No. So let's give it a name. It has no name. So change that to txt search. Copy that name, double click on reset, paste it right underneath here. And grab hold of all of this, paste it right there. There. So in here we can just change this to you have successfully reset your system. There we go. And right underneath here we then call the database again. Okay, call the function. So let's try this out. Run. There we go. Click on OK, and here let's add some student details in there and name. That would be Julie Jackson. Okay, for Miss JJ, number 18 Hall Street. Telephone number. There. Add that. Yes, successfully added. Thank you. And let's assume we want to reset. Confirm if you want to reset. No. Confirm if you want to reset. Yes. Look at that. You have successfully reset your system. Okay, I need to get rid of this. There. So let me take care of the search. Then we can take care of update and delete. So exit out first. And I'm going to scroll right up. Let's get hold of the function that I created earlier, this very one. There. Okay, I'm going to grab hold of, let's grab hold of everything in here. Right, let's copy that. Now let's go straight to the search, double click on that, press enter, paste. But before then, up here, I'm going to call the checker. Now so your checker value is 0. If you guys remember checker is right up there. I declare it right here. There, I'm now making use of it. Now back in here. Okay, you see where we have the SQL statement. Instead of insert, I'm going to change that to select from csave where student ID equals, enter a single quote, double quote, that will be, let's say, txt search dot text. Now let's enter a plus sign here, there, and all the other, let's just delete the others there, get rid of those. Right, so there should be a plus sign here. Right, or, so that is for the ID, or let's say first name equals as follows within the search. So I'm going to copy this and just paste this here. There should be a plus there, or surname equals plus txt search. And that, and enter semicolon there. There should be a plus sign here. Now we need to execute the non query. Let's get rid of this, we don't need that. Then we also need to get the, we're gonna need a data table. So let's say data table, get hold of that object, let it point to dt, that will be the name, the alias for my data table, new data table. There we go. Now I'm going to get OLEDB data adapter in as well. So that will come in here, OLEDB data adapter, and that's send a pointer to DT, and that is going to be garbage collect new data adapter, and that is going to be collecting whatever we have inside cmd, the command. Paste that in there and do that just here, copy and paste cmd. Right, now the next thing we want to do is, let's say dp dot fill dt. Now we need to get the checker here. Whatever value we get, we want to increase it within the checker here. So checker, that will be equals, get it converted to int, let's say int 32, and dt dot roles dot count dot to string, enter parentheses there. Nice. Okay, now that that is done, we now need to assign this straight to our data grid view. So let's come down here, and I'm going to say data grid view 1, data grid view 1 dot data source, and that will be equals dt. There we go. Now we can close the system. Okay, close the database. No error so far. Now, supposing what we are searching for is not there, well, we can use an if statement. If checker equals 0, we want the following. So we can display a message. I'm going to grab a hold of this, just dump it here and get rid of this for now. Get this one indented, and we can just say no record or record not found. Okay, that can be an information, not error. Information, or maybe exclamation, whatever. Alright, so clear whatever we have inside here, inside the text box. Get it cleared. Equals clear. Alright, so that should take care of the search. And let's close it here as well. Okay, if there's any error, so just close everything. Alright, okay, let's see. I'm going to run it now. Click on run. Let's just try out that search and see. There we go. Connection is successful. I think I need to get rid of this. It's becoming annoying. So let's enter some value in there. So I'm going to enter 849,500 and click on search. There we go. Look at that. That is fine. That is fine. Okay, and let's look for the other one. 893,489. There we go. Look at that. Alright, that's fine. Okay, you see this one? I'm going to get rid of it. That's inside the function. Let's go and get rid of that now. It's becoming annoying. Oh, let's go right up there, the function. That is it. We've confirmed the system is working now. That is it. I'm just going to comment it out. There. Alright, now let's take care of the next one. We've done this. There is update. Double click on update. Right. Press enter. Okay, with the update, I'm going to copy everything that I have inside. Yeah, let's copy everything that we have inside the search function here. We can always modify that. Take it down. There we go. Copy and paste it right in here. And what I want to do now is, you see where we have select, that will become update. Update c save, that's the name of my database. Update c save and set the student ID, set student ID. Okay, that is, instead of search, this one will become student ID. Okay, where student ID dot text equals that, and where first name, that is correct, equals first name. Grab this, change this one to first name, and surname equals surname. Copy that, paste that here. There. Okay, I'm going to get it executed, delete all of these. I don't need those. Delete these up to here, and I'm going to delete this as well. Right. Now the message, let's change the message to something like record updated successfully. There, record updated successfully. So that will be, and let's change that to an information dot information. Right. And what else do we do? Come in here. Yeah, I'm going to leave this, but here I should call my database connector. That is it, the function. There, make sure you call the function as well. That's it. My function is called connection DB, and that is it right up here, the connection DB, if you guys can still recall. There we go, connection DB. Okay, back in here. So that is the update. Okay, update is taken care of, but for me to be able to test this out, I need to do one more thing. Go back to the design view right here. I'm going to select this data grid view. Now go straight to the properties, select event, and inside the event you see where we have cell click. So when we click on that, I want whatever I click on to be listed on all of these components here. So you see cell click, double click on that. There. Now let's press enter. Right inside the cell click, I'm going to just type in try to handle whatever error. So I'm going to copy this, paste that right here. Okay. Now the very first thing I want to do is, the very first item that I have in there is student ID. So I'm going to get hold of the student ID. So right in here, student ID, that will be equals data grid view 1 dot select selected row, and that would be row 0. Okay, that's in form of an array. Dot value, that would be value. Just type that out. Dot to string. This should have been value. Okay, we're missing got to be 0 as well, and it should be okay. And take care of the s, not values. Yeah, that is it, done. Okay, so that's the very first one. So when I click, whatever we have in there in that very role goes in here. So let's repeat the same thing for the others. Copy this. We have 6 here. So this one is going to be first name, and this will be surname. Then we have address, postcode, then telephone. Alright, so let's change the cells around. So that will be cell 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. There. I think I'm right. Okay, so if I run it now, I should be able to select any of the rows. Let's run it and see. There we go. So select that. There we go. Look at that. Select the other one. So it's working fine. So now to check if my search works, I'm now going to change this. Let's say I change it to 007. Okay, click on update. Yeah, I was meant to update. Search is already working. Click on update. Record updated successfully. Look at that, it's changed to 007. So let's change it to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9. Look at that, guys, you see that? So search is working, add is working, update is working. We just need to take care of delete. That's nice. Reset. Yes. Okay, let's see. And let's enter something here. Let's say that is Sally. More house. Let's say Saint John Avenue. And telephone number. There, click on add. There we go, look at that. That's good. Alright, so everything is working now. Let's check the database. I believe this is the database. Yeah, so I'm going to close it and reopen it. There we go, look at it. All the details are there. Okay, this might be confusing. Let's move this one. Yeah, that is it. Look at that. Alright, so everything is working fine. Close that, minimize that. And what is just left now is delete. Okay, delete and maybe 1 or 2 more things here. I need to take care of this as well. Exit, no, delete and print. Okay, let's come in here, double click on delete. So for the delete, let me copy all that we have. Let's see. Okay, let's copy this. Copy everything here. Take it down. Yep. Scroll right down to delete. Paste. And here inside delete, first thing first, let's change the SQL statement. Delete from delete all from. So where the student ID equals as follows. So student ID, and I'm going to get rid of this everything here. Yeah, get rid of that, and that is going to be student ID. Oh, get rid of this as well. Student ID equals txt student ID text. In case you have a plus sign here, and plus single quote, double quote. Alright, we also need the execute and close. So I'm going to grab hold of all of these. Let's move them up here. Right, and here, semicolon there. Okay, getting somewhere. Now, and I want to clear. Come in here, clear, there, and repeat the same thing for the others. Clear, just clear it, clear, and clear, and clear. That is that done. Okay, and in here, let me close the system as well. I don't have to, but put that there just in case. And that should take care of my delete. Right. Save that. Okay, let's try out this delete. I think it should work really. So have a good look at the codes. So click on run. Let's see. And select whatever you want to delete. Let's say Julie Jackson. Click on delete. Record is successfully added. No, we want to delete. Okay, delete is, that's it, it's working. I just need to change that statement that I copied. Okay, that should have been, record is successfully deleted. Change this to deleted. That's it, delete is working. Good. So, and now we need to take care of print. Let's double click on the print. Okay, you see, for the print, before I take care of that, I'm going to need the following objects. Let's go straight to the toolbox. I need print document, and I also need the print preview. There we go. Now select this print preview dialog, come into the properties in there, select the document and drop that down, select print document. Very good. Now you see print document, double click on print document, and right in there we now need to say e dash graphics dot, I want you to draw image. There we go. And the image is going to be inside my object that I created earlier, the bitmap object, comma 0, comma 0. That's add the coordinate, and right here, there we go. That's not finished. We now need to double click on the print button itself, double click on the print button and enter the following lines of codes there for the print button. So have a good look at that. Let's take it from here down here. Okay, and that is the print document. That is the print. Let's try that out. There we go. So I'm going to add more data in there, and that's, let's say the name is Tony Anthony. Goodman close, and there we go. Telephone number, click on add. Successfully added. That's good. Let's print that out. Click on print. Look at that, guys. Okay, all you just need to do is to click on print. I don't have printer on this system, so the print is working as well. That is good. I'm going to exit out, but there's one thing I want to do. You see, when my mouse goes in here, I want it to clear this text. Alright, so have a good look at the lines of code for print. Take it from here. That's the print button, and this is the print dialog, print document. Now let's come in here, select this, and when the mouse enter, we want this text to disappear and the cursor flashing, so that's mouse enter. Double click on that. So in here we just say the search button dot text equals clear, and the search button dot focus. There. That's the first part taken care of. The second part is going to be if it's empty. So let's go back in there and select the properties. Now select mouse leaves. If equals empty, and in that case we just want this to change the text in there to search. That's it. That is all. Yeah, that's all I believe. Now run. Let's see. There we go. Mouse in, mouse out. You see that? Mouse in, and let's say we enter the following: 3 5 6 4 3 4, and we can search. There we go. And that's all there is to it, guys. And that's how you create your own C++ MS Assets database connection. So with that, I'm going to call it the end of this beautiful tutorial. I suppose you guys enjoyed it. And please do subscribe to my channel. You can also join to become a member of the channel. And you all have a nice day now. And thanks for watching. Bye for now.